Did you know that the average American home contains about 300,000 items? That's right, 300,000. From old clothes to unused kitchen gadgets, our homes are bursting at the seams with things we don't even remember buying. This excessive clutter isn't just a space issue, it's a growing concern for our mental health. A study from the National Association of Professional Organizers found that clutter can lead to increased stress and anxiety. Despite knowing that we don't need so much, many of us continue to shop as if our lives depend on it. In fact, according to Statista, the average American spends nearly $1,500 each year on non-essential items. So, why do we keep buying more? In this video, we'll dive into the reasons behind our overwhelming desire to accumulate things. We'll explore the psychology of consumerism, the role of social media in our purchasing habits, and the emotional ties we have to our belongings. You'll learn practical strategies to combat these urges and embrace a more minimalist lifestyle. Are you ready to challenge the status quo and discover why less truly can be more? Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Paradox of Plenty. Why we crave what we don't need. We've all heard that having more choices is better. But too many options can overwhelm us, leading to choice paralysis. Psychologist Barry Schwartz, in his book The Paradox of Choice, argues that instead of making us happy, endless choices often leave us stressed and dissatisfied. And when we do choose, we wonder if we made the right decision. Interestingly, people who embrace minimalism aren't immune to this. They may still find themselves drawn to new products, even though they don't need them. Why? It's simple. Our brains are wired to seek novelty. Studies show that the brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical, whenever we buy something new. This short-term boost makes us want more, even if the satisfaction doesn't last. Add to this the pressure of societal norms. We live in a culture that equates success with owning more gadgets, more clothes, more stuff. The 21st century consumer is constantly bombarded with ads and influencers pushing the next must-have item. Marketers know how to tap into our need for status and belonging. They use social proof, a strategy that makes us feel like we're missing out if we don't buy what everyone else has. The key strategy here is awareness. Minimalists who thrive are often those who recognize these triggers and take deliberate steps to counteract them. They practice intentional buying, a strategy that focuses on why they're purchasing something rather than just mindlessly acquiring it. Chapter 2. FOMO versus minimalism. Battling the fear of missing out. Fear of missing out, or FOMO, isn't just about not attending an event. It's also about the anxiety of missing out on the latest trends, products, or experiences. Research from the Journal of Behavioral Addictions shows that FOMO is a huge driver of impulsive buying, especially among younger generations. The more time we spend on social media, the more exposed we are to things that fuel this fear. This is where minimalism comes in as a counterbalance. The minimalist mindset teaches us to focus on what truly adds value to our lives. But let's be real, resisting FOMO isn't easy. We're bombarded with images of people living their best lives on Instagram, surrounded by the latest gadgets, outfits, or home decor. It creates a loop of envy that's hard to escape. To combat FOMO, a growing number of minimalists use a strategy called the 30-day rule. If they see something they want, they wait 30 days before buying it. If they still want it after that period, they consider the purchase. Most of the time, the urge fades. According to behavioral economists, this cooling-off period works because it forces us to focus on our long-term goals rather than instant gratification. Another trick is to curate what you consume. Following accounts or influencers who promote minimalism or mindful living can help shift your mindset away from FOMO-driven consumption. Instead of seeing endless ads or product placements, you're exposed to people who prioritize experiences over things. Chapter 3. Emotional hoarding. The sentimental trap. Have you ever kept something purely because it reminded you of a special moment? It's not just about stuff, it's about the memories attached to it. This is called emotional hoarding. It's the hardest clutter to let go of because it feels like you're throwing away pieces of your past. In her best-selling book The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, Marie Kondo popularized the idea of asking, does this item spark joy? It's a powerful question, but many struggle to answer it when it comes to sentimental items. After all, even if something doesn't bring joy in the moment, it may still represent an important memory. A survey by the Self-Storage Association found that nearly 9% of American households rent storage units, often for sentimental items they can't fit in their homes. This highlights how emotionally attached we are to our stuff, even if we never use it. Minimalists handle this by practicing what some call memory minimalism. The idea is that memories aren't tied to objects, they're in our minds and hearts. As a strategy, many people start by taking photos of sentimental items before letting them go. This allows them to preserve the memory without the physical clutter. Others focus on keeping just one or two items that represent an entire period of their lives. For example, instead of holding onto an entire box of childhood toys, they'll keep just one. This helps ease the emotional burden while still honoring the past. In the end, the goal isn't to become a robot who feels nothing for their belongings. Instead, it's about striking a balance between keeping what truly matters and letting go of what doesn't serve us anymore. If you're enjoying this exploration of minimalism, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community for more insights and tips on living a simpler, more meaningful life. Chapter 4. The Digital Mirage. Does less screen time mean less stuff? In our tech-driven world, digital devices have taken over our lives. We scroll through countless apps and websites, often without thinking twice. But here's the twist. Does more screen time lead to less physical clutter? Surprisingly, the answer is complicated. Research shows that digital consumption can actually lead to more purchases. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, people who spend more time online are more likely to shop impulsively. With just a click, we can fill our virtual carts with items we never knew we needed. It's too easy to buy when we're staring at a screen. This brings us to the concept of digital minimalism. In his book, Digital Minimalism, Cal Newport argues that reducing screen time can help us focus on what really matters. Instead of mindlessly scrolling, we can choose to engage with content that aligns with our values. One strategy Newport suggests is to conduct a digital declutter. This means taking a break from non-essential digital tools for 30 days. During this period, you can evaluate what truly adds value to your life. Many people find that after this declutter, they are less likely to impulse buy. It's about reclaiming control over how we spend our time and money. Also, consider the concept of screen-free zones. Creating spaces in your home where screens are not allowed can encourage more meaningful interactions. Whether it's during dinner or in the bedroom, these zones can reduce the temptation to shop online and help you focus on what truly matters. Chapter 5. The Sneaky Power of Convenience Purchases. Have you ever bought something just because it was too convenient? You're not alone. In today's fast-paced world, convenience drives many of our buying decisions. From meal delivery services to one-click online shopping, the options seem endless. According to a study by the Consumer Technology Association, 62% of people say convenience is a key factor in their purchasing decisions. But here's the catch. Convenience can often lead to clutter. When everything is just a click away, it becomes all too easy to accumulate things we don't really need. Many minimalists use a simple strategy to combat this: the waiting period. If you find something you want to buy, pause for 24 hours before making the purchase. This gives you time to reflect on whether you truly need it. A survey by Statista revealed that over 50% of people who wait before buying report that the desire to purchase fades. Another effective tactic is to unsubscribe from promotional emails and notifications. The less we're exposed to tempting offers, the easier it is to resist buying more. Research from the Journal of Marketing found that reducing exposure to advertisements significantly lowers impulse purchases. It's also helpful to create a budget for convenience purchases. Set aside a small amount each month for things that make your life easier. This way, you're not denying yourself the convenience, but you're controlling how much you spend on it. Thank you for joining me on this journey through minimalism. If you found these insights helpful, please subscribe to our channel. Together, we can embrace a simpler, more meaningful life.